Well, we made it all the way to the final fourth generation console. The red-headed stepchild of this generation, if you will, the Phillips CD-I. Now, it was spawned from a failed partnership between Philips and Nintendo, which that partnership was spawned after Nintendo and Sony's failed agreement to agree on a disc format for the joint ventured PlayStation, 2 words, the Super NES CD-ROM disc-based system. So Nintendo tasked Sony's biggest rival, Philips, to help them create the CD-ROM add-on for the NES. To make a long story short, the three then joined forces to create the SNES CD, and that fell apart after Sega's CD debacle. So then, due to the partnership, Nintendo allowed several of its IP, or intellectual properties, to have their own spotlight on the Philips CD-I. That's why you see familiar faces like Mario and Link on the CD-I. If you don't remember those games, that's okay, no one does. I don't think Nintendo even wants to remember them. The CD-I is really a niche console. It has a weird spoon-like controller. They had its own late-night infomercial for it when those were a thing. Like the 3DO, several different companies manufactured CD-I units. They went all the way from a Series 100 to a Series 700. They released a digital video cartridge add-on in 1993, which gave the CD-I a little bit of life, allowed it to play full-motion video games like the Mad Dog McRae's and the Dragon's Lair. More about the digital video cartridge later. Let's play some CD-I. You know the routine. Tools. Import ROM files. We're going to do our CD-Is, our Philips CD-Is. Or I guess it's just CD-I. I think I have some of the games here. Yeah, they are. Okay. Philips CD-I. Launchbox does not know what it is. Let's see if it hasn't. And my name may just be off. There it is. Choose an emulator. It's going to be RetroArch. Nope, we don't want to use that core. We want to use, let's scroll down to the S's. And we want to use SAMECDI libretto. Used in the current, saves all our information. Emu movies. I have my high quality checked. Next. Bezels. Next. All the same stuff we've been doing for the last 4 videos. These are all the games. Mine are in CHUD format. Go finish. And now we wait for it to import. And there's our Philips CD-I games. We have about 128 total games. Looks like some of these may be European games that there's no covers for. You could do a deep dive and find those if you like. Now let's try to open something. Let's open Seventh Guess, popular game made on many different formats. Now loading. Okay, so it's telling you it's missing files. What do you think it could be missing? That's right, the BIOS file. This is the BIOS you're going to need, CDI mono 1.zip. Now, there's a lot of these floating around the internet. Make sure you have the one that has 5 files in it. If you don't have 5 files, most come with just these 3. It just doesn't work. So once you have the proper file, we're going to go to our Launchbox directory. We're going to go to System. And much like Neo CD, we're going to create a new folder called same_CDI. We're going to create a folder inside of here called BIOS. We're going to paste it in. We're going to go back. We're going to go back to Launchbox. Now we're going to try the seventh guest again. Game is loading. And there you are. All right, let's load it now. So remember we talked about that digital video cartridge? Well, unfortunately, that digital video cartridge, or DVC, is not emulated yet. Double, unfortunately, is most of the good games. Seventh Guest, Mad Dog McCree. In fact, here are the games that required a digital video card. Seventh Guest, Brain Dead 13, Pluto, Crime Patrol, any of those shooting games, Mad Dog McCree, you're going to need a Dragon's Lair, Dragon's Lair 2, Space Ace, of course, Thunder in Paradise. I may have to buy a real CD-I and Thunder in Paradise just so I can play it. Some games have it as optional. You really don't have much of a choice when it comes to Phillips CD-I emulators. You have these. You could play it through MAME. So SAMECDI is a branch of MAME. So instead of multi-arcade, it's single arcade. Right here. I'm sure they're working on it. I hope they are. It'd be great to have this CDI fully emulated. Probably never play it ever, but, part of the hobby is just the collecting of it. There is one emulator, CDI emulator. Still working on it as of last month. It doesn't really work well because it's a paid-for emulator, and it's got a built-in timer, and the timer is set to much earlier in the past, and you have to go through a whole big thing to... Never mind. It doesn't work. Use SAMECDI and just deal with the limitations. There are some good CDI games. Let's take a look at them.
Looks kind of peaceful. Looks at the seating when Koopas are involved.
Behold the greatness of Hotel Mario. I think this is the first time we hear Mario and Luigi speak. So this is Hotel Mario. It's a, up and down platformer. You pretty much have to shut the doors and then enter the elevator and close all doors on the way to the top. The jump timing is a little off. It's not kind of the same jump timing you're used to as Mario. It's a very Super NES Mario cartoon character. I think this came out around the same time or maybe a year later as Super Mario World. So making it to our top, collecting coins, jumping on Koopas, and that's end of level 1. So this is essentially Hotel Mario. Same game. Levels change a little bit. You get power-ups. But this is probably the best game you're going to play on the Phillips CD-I, and it's probably the worst Mario game ever made. Period. So the next game on my list is The Apprentice. No, not the Donald Trump TV series. It's actually your little sorcerer's apprentice. And he has you go on these little tasks and pick up things and whatnot. It's a fun game. Very colorful. Kind of reminds me of like something you play on the Amiga, made by Ocean. But it's fun. I actually like this game more than I like Mario. Very colorful. Controls are pretty good. Again, I'm using an Xbox controller. I don't know how well you can play this game with the CDI original spoon-shaped controller. As a platformer, it's good. Like I said, very similar to the old Amiga platforms. Give it a try. The Apprentice. Everything you see is jumpable. The statue's foot, statue's head. Just make your way up to the top while you're collecting the food. Jump on the arachnoid thing. It's fun. If you're going to emulate CD-I, try this game. You won't be disappointed. The last game I'll show you is Zelda, the Wand of Gamelon. I think there's 3 Zelda games. I don't know which is the best, which is the worst. We'll try this one first. If you're looking for ROMs for the CD-I on the Reddit Mega ROM thread, there's a good place that has an 1800 ROMs. A lot of it is just garbage commercial stuff from Europe, but weed through it or collect them all.
Don't hear from me in a month. Send link.
Impa, don't worry, Zelda. The Triforce of Wisdom promises the king will safely return.
Enough. My ship sails in the morning. I wonder what's for dinner.
Oh boy, I'm so hungry.
I'm pretty sure this is the first time we hear Link and Zelda speak.
A whole month gone, and still no word. I'm certain he's all right.
Yeah, that old Ganon's no match for the king.
Link
go
is
to Gamelon
kind of annoying,
and find
actually.
my father.
Great! I can't wait to bomb some Dodongos.
Wake up, Impa. We're going to Gamelon. All right, dear. I'll get the Triforce of Wisdom.
And I guess you got to make your way through this map. This is a side scroller where you get attacked by wild boars and bats and rhino. My patience won't let me play this game more than 3 minutes, but pick it up, check it out, emulate it. If you don't kneel down, the boars get you. No other way to go. No. I don't know. Play this game, check it out. You'll probably be better than me at it. Or maybe not. Maybe the game just sucks. Again, highly regarded as at least in the top 10 of best CD-I games. You be the judge. Oh. All right, enough of this game. That's a CD-I. Enjoy. Should come back next week. I should come back to you next week with another series of Launchbox generation of consoles. Maybe we'll do the 5th generation because of something like PlayStation, Saturn, Nintendo 64, 32X. Games where they really start coming to life. Not yet there. Polygon count is low, but some really great games from that generation. Twisted Metal series on the PlayStation. Panzer Dragoon. Great games. So, classics. So, let's work on Series 5 coming up next. Generation 5. Like, subscribe, tell your neighbors, tell your friends. Happy gaming, everybody.